Currently, I think we can do already some beautiful things for our patients.
The use of 3D printing in medicine has already shown it can truly change lives.
3D printing enabled technologies have benefits to many of the different stakeholders in the global healthcare arena. This obviously includes the patients and stakeholders like the hospitals and the physicians and even the OEMs, and importantly, the payers.
Meanwhile, we know that we can help individual patients with this technology. The challenge for the future is going to be to prove with sufficient clinical evidence that we can bring this to the whole surgical community so that all patients can benefit from it.
We have assumptions and we have feelings that the devices that we create with 3D printing are truly contributing a lot to the healthcare of patients. But in reality, that requires evidence building in a systematic way, which we are currently still totally lacking for nearly every 3D printing application in medicine.
The biggest challenge that we are facing today is not the technological one, but the reimbursement, which is a hurdle for doing more cases.
I think the single biggest reason to quantify evidence at this time for 3D printing in medicine has got to be reimbursement.
In order to get approval for reimbursement, we need to have some proof of clinical evidence where we prove that this is to the benefit of the patient and that the cost to society remains controlled.
In medicine, the evidence 3D printing technology should focus on gathering will include things like overall patient outcomes, the invasiveness of the procedure, the total cost of the procedure, and things like revision rates for surgeries or other procedures. Now, while some of these are fairly easy, some of these may be fairly difficult to gather, and I think that's a good reason why a collaborative effort to gather information will be best.
Building evidence has to take into account that we're dealing with more than just the product, the physical product alone, but that's the result of a continuum of steps that need to be taken to start from patient diagnosis to patient treatment. And 3D printing there is an essential element.
3D printing in medicine will only create sustainable business when we are able to deliver the evidence that it's really working and better than all other technologies to create medical devices.
Moving forward, technologies and therapies will not find a home and a place that's financially rewarding without having clear, documented, objectified medical evidence.
Building evidence for 3D printing in medicine has to take into account that we're dealing with an entire chain of steps that we need to take to arrive at a 3D printed device. It has to refer to design, to planning, to the production. So also building evidence and estimating the value has to refer to the entire process and not to the end product alone.
I truly believe that the next applications for 3D printing in medicine are going to be powered by objective evidence and evidence of the therapeutic value of these technologies.
By using common evidence methodologies, doctors and device manufacturers can build on the work of each other to help more patients.
The next wave of medical modeling applications will be powered by a move from where production happens, moving from the centralized service center of today and moving to the clinical environment in the hospital tomorrow.
ESME brings together doctors, engineers, device manufacturers, and other stakeholders to address the challenges to expanding the use of additive manufacturing.
Without generating true evidence that 3D printed parts are really better as medical devices than classically manufactured components, there is no future, there is no sustainable business for 3D printing in medicine.
I'm personally very excited to witness what's coming next.